All right, y'all. We're gonna get the show started. I'm doing it a different way now, so let's get it going.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody
What's going on, Titan Nation? Welcome into a new edition of TNT Tonight. I'm your man, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and we're gonna have a very good episode for you on this evening. Looks like there's some audio difficulties on my laptop as far as StreamYard is concerned. So I'm gonna do it on my phone. So we're definitely gonna do it this way and everything. So I done got out of the studio in StreamYard, and I'm going to do it here and everything. So we are good to go there. So thank everybody for tuning in to the show and everything. So y'all let me know if y'all can hear me good here on here. So I'm just doing it on my phone now, and then that way it's a little bit easier to do it right now until that situation gets straightened out and everything. So I'm just gonna do it on my phone instead. So looks like everything is good to go here. But thank y'all for tuning into the show. I am Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, aka The Truth. And definitely make sure y'all follow on Facebook at TNT Enforcers, on Instagram at Titan_N_Truth, and on Twitter X at TNT Blue Enforcer. I can't share on Facebook right now because at the moment I'm in Facebook jail for a few days. They claimed I put something out. I think it was when I put out the breaking news about the new defensive coordinator, basically saying that it was copywritten. I'm thinking I gave credit to who did it and everything, but Facebook can sometimes be a little stupid. So I wasn't able to post on Facebook, but I did put it on Twitter and Instagram. And so that's where we're going from that and everything. But definitely make sure y'all definitely share the show out and everything. And also, everybody that comes in, make sure y'all hit that like button, please. You're helping me. You're helping the algorithm. You're helping get more people to the channel. So everybody that's watching right now, please go give a like. I want everybody watching the show to give me a like. I want to get at least 50 likes on this show. So everybody, please help me out with that. And also, if you're new to the channel and haven't experienced the truth, definitely hit that subscribe button on YouTube and ring that bell and hit all for all of your notifications. Also, if you're on Twitter X listening as well, go ahead and retweet this show out. Retweet so more Titans fans on Twitter X can also come to the show and enjoy it as well. And then I'm also going to be getting back to making sure I download on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, and Google Podcast as well. So I definitely do appreciate everybody for doing that. I definitely see we had some people in here. I try to make sure I get everybody. Over Chicken said, did y'all see we rumored to have new uniforms? I did see that. OC says this DB room finally about to be elite. We about to find out. Titan South says, watch us go back to the 1999 units. I hope not. I like the ones we got now. Brandon says, what it do? We got Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. We got THC 323. Can we just experience our team going to the Super Bowl? I know that's right. I know, and need to see patches. I definitely agree. I see we got AZ Big. We got Miss Men's hearing me good. We got my man Ian up in here. Man, Ian, you know what, Ian? I owe you because I was out on your side of the country and I didn't get up with you. So that's my bad. I owe you one, Ian. I definitely do. Parker D says Terrell Williams was the biggest loss today. Yeah, that was a loss, definitely. Definitely. So we're definitely going to talk about that. I know Miss Ben's got to go because I know she got Bible study. What up, Landon? But yes, the big news of the day, we're going to get right into it, is not that one. Yes, there we are. Is that the Titans did add Denard, Ravens defensive backs coach Denard Wilson, as the new defensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans. And so Denard Wilson is the new defensive coordinator, of course, coming over from the Baltimore Ravens, where they had the number one ranked, one of the number one pass defenses in the league. Very difficult to pass against. And you know how Coach Cali has said, he wants a defense that keeps coaches up at night. He wants to have a defense like what he would have problems, trying to plan against. And the Ravens were definitely one of those defenses that he had trouble against in the past. So this, I think, is an excellent, excellent hire, and we're definitely going to go into a little bit more in depth about him and his career and things like that. And so we're definitely going to talk about that. Also, another nugget that just came out earlier today is that the Titans are hiring former Bears wide receiver coach Tyke Tolbert as the new wide receivers coach here in Tennessee as well. Now, we still don't have an offensive coordinator or a special teams coordinator yet, but it does look like Brian Callahan and Rand Carthon are slowly starting to fill out their staff. That is why neither one of them are at the Senior Bowl right now. But, of course, Assistant General Manager Chad Brinker, I believe A-Rob, Anthony Robinson, is also down there with the Scouts. They are down there at the Senior Bowl as we speak. Next week's show, next week, I'm going to be giving you some of my thoughts on the Senior Bowl. I started watching some of the practices Tuesday and also from yesterday. I know today is, I think, the last day of those practices. So I'm probably going to start really going back, watching those practices probably on Friday if I can, and try to get, as much info on some of the guys that I thought were impressive. I have started to make a list of some guys that I have been impressed with in the last couple of days. So I'm definitely going to go back and watch practice, especially mainly the one-on-ones. Those what I really pay attention to. The one-on-ones, and I may look at the team drill, because I know as the week went on, they started doing team stuff, and then they started working like first and second down. They started doing, I think they did red zone today as well. So Tyke Tolbert, the new wide receiver coach in Tennessee. Of course, we still have quite a few people to fill out on staff, but also, the Titans, of course, have interviewed Jaguars passing game coordinator Nick Holtz, as well as Bucs quarterback coach Thad Lewis for the offensive coordinator position. And we're still awaiting to see when they'll interview associate head coach and running backs coach for the Miami Dolphins, Eric Studsville, as well for the offensive coordinator position. So that is stuff still to come and everything. So we're definitely going to see that. Brandon said, well, damn, we went to the Super Bowl in that scheme. Wouldn't mind seeing that. Maybe as a side hit. Brandon said, we're going to be a blitz-heavy team. I think I saw something on Twitter where somebody was saying that maybe with this, even with Denard, that they're going to play more man. They're going to play a lot of man and a lot more press. And I'm like, I am all for that, because I am sick and tired of seeing our corners playing, 7 to 10 yards off the ball every single play. I want to see them up on those receivers. up on the receivers or at least 3 to 5 yards off the ball at most. That's what I want to start seeing. And so, yeah, Ian says, I'm in San Francisco. I believe you were in LA. Yeah, that's right. I was in LA. So I knew I was out on that side of the country, but yeah, I was in LA. That's true. Parker D said, can't believe we hired Wilson the tight. Never got a top coach on the market. New era indeed. Parker D said, many of my friends went to the Senior Bowl. I heard Roman Wilson and Ladd McConkey are going to be gems. And I have seen that as well. And that's something that next week we're definitely going to give. I'm going to definitely give some thoughts on the Senior Bowl, who I am impressed with. And of course, this will begin where I start kind of preparing, getting my analysis together on who I believe are going to be some of the top players and positions as we get closer to the NFL Combine at the end of the month. So that's something that I'm definitely going to be looking at. And, you know, I may start coming out with some mock drafts and things like that too. But yes, so we're definitely going to get into that in the coming weeks. But here is some stuff about our new defensive coordinator, Dennard Wilson. Of course, he started off, you know, he's got some familiarity with Ran Carthon because he started off as a defensive quality control coach. He was there from 2012 to 2016. His first year, his first couple of years, he started off as a defensive quality control coach. And then his last couple of years, between 2014 and 2016, he was a defensive backs coach. Moved on to the Jets, until 2020, 2017 to 2020. He was a defensive backs coach and then later became passing game coordinator as well. And then even though I got it wrong, 2012, I meant to say 2021 to 2022, he was the defensive backs coach and passing game coordinator. And then, of course, last year with the Ravens was the 2020 in 2023 was the defensive backs coach. And, of course, those last 2 years in Philly and in Baltimore, each of those years, the pass defense was number one, was the best. And, you know, a lot of people credit Dennard Wilson for that. I believe Darius Slay, the Eagles cornerback, basically retweeted, was like, yes, sir. So he was definitely all for that. And let's not kid ourselves. Dennard Wilson isn't some slouch. He ain't some slouch that was just a no name that came out of nowhere and became defensive coordinator. He was somebody that was sought after. Was definitely sought after. Quite a few people figured he was going to get a defensive coordinator gig at some point. And so, you know, of course, I believe the Giants were interested in him. Quite a few teams were definitely after him. And I'm trying to pull that up right now as far as who, you know, was after him. But yeah, there were definitely some teams after. There were definitely some teams that were after him. Like the Giants were one. A lot of people thought once Mike Macdonald got the job as the Seattle Seahawks head coach, some thought he was going to go to Seattle and be Mike Macdonald's defensive coordinator. Others thought maybe the Ravens would make him their defensive coordinator and everything. So the LA Rams was trying to get him back. Green Bay was interested, and the New York Giants. But he ended up choosing us. And so this is a good thing for a lot of different reasons. And a couple of the main reasons, main reason is you're heading in a new direction. You got one of the top candidates that a lot of teams were after for this job. So you got him there. And then also, again, this is somebody that Brian Callahan is not familiar with. Maybe this is a suggestion from Rand, and maybe Callie and Callahan and Wilson maybe sat down and talked, and maybe they hit it off, or things like that. So that could be the case as well. But also another thing that's great about this is that if Denard Wilson hits and he does well as defensive coordinator and ends up getting a head coaching job, because of the diversity, a minority he'll be a minority candidate. If he ends up getting a head coaching job, guess what happens? The Tennessee Titans get a compensatory pick in the draft because of that, because a minority candidate gets a head coaching job. So he's a guy that very much sought after, and is somebody that can become a head coach. And so if that is the case, that is nothing but good news. That is nothing but good news for the Tennessee Titans all the way around. So, I mean, the offense won't change. And then, of course, if Denard Wilson does well, maybe, somebody who is under him, gets trained up, then they can become the next defensive coordinator if and when he leaves. So definitely I think this is an excellent, excellent hire. Excuse me, for the Tennessee Titans. Definitely very glad that they did get him. And so I am very much impressed. I know this is a wait and see kind of thing. But coming from the Ravens, where they had very good secondary play, with Marlon Humphrey being very good, and Geno Stone, who's a safety that's gonna be entering free agency, could be somebody the Titans target. Definitely, because we do need help at safety opposite Amani Hooker. So that could be something there. But I am definitely very impressed with this hire. Definitely was a good hire there. Came out last night, late last night before I was going to bed. So that's why I didn't really do a breaking news yesterday when it comes to that. And so, again, I think it's a very solid hire. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Parker D says, I think Amy's opened up a wallet to get these amazing coaches. She wants to win a Super Bowl. She said she wants to win. And again, she said she's not going to shy away from her expectations. She wants to win a championship. And a certain other coach just wasn't going to get them there. So I think that is a very good hire. And then again, the other news of the day, Tyke Tolbert, the former Bears wide receiver coach, is now the new wide receiver coach here. And so I'm thinking he has in mind somebody for that offensive coordinator position. We're definitely going to find out about that. I think that him and Tolbert and Callahan have some familiarity with each other. Of course, he's been coaching a very long time, going back to his time in Arizona in 2003. He's been a wide receiver coach everywhere he's went, in Arizona, in Buffalo, in Carolina, in Denver from 2011 to 2017. That's where he worked with Brian Callahan, also with the Giants, and then with the Bears the last 2 years. He's been the wide receiver coach and passing game coordinator. So I'm not really very familiar with Tyke Tolbert. I know he's worked with some very good receivers like an Anquan Bolden, like a Terrell Owens. Also, definitely was, definitely worked with, of course, DJ Moore, Daryl Mooney in Chicago. And things like that. So definitely worked with some very, very good receivers in his time. And so we're definitely going to see about this one. This one I'm kind of wondering about. I think it's just maybe some familiarity with him and Brian Callahan. So we're definitely gonna find out what's gonna happen there with this particular coach. Maybe things are gonna be better. Hopefully, Traylon Burks, his career can get resurrected. We'll see if we see some improvement with Kyle Phillips and whoever else they bring in, because they're gonna bring in some new receivers. I definitely do think that, whether it be in free agency or the draft. I know everybody is focused on T. Higgins and everything. Of course, another guy that I wouldn't mind having is Mike Evans. I would not mind having him. And then maybe we still draft a young receiver that can be somebody that comes up behind these two, and maybe him and Burks can become that dynamic duo. So that's definitely something to see there. Parker D says, if Vrabel was never fired, will Shane Bowen and Tim Kelly still be the OC in DC? Probably so. And he also said the strength and conditioning coach is going to be gone. And that is something that they have yet to make a decision on, is strength and conditioning, or I should say director of sports performance, as they like to call it. So I think they're going to move on for the strength and conditioning, but I think their first mind is trying to get their regular staff together as far as offense and defense and special teams. So I think that's what they're trying to focus on first with that. And so I'm definitely very good with that. So I think that's something that's going to happen in the very near future. Stevie says 49ers system. I think this is going to be very similar to the 49ers, maybe even very similar to Cincinnati. And so that's going to be very interesting there. Of course, we did also get some other good news, as Overchicken mentioned. Jason Hoteling, the offensive line coach, gone. He was obviously let go. He will be the Bears' I believe, offensive line coach or assistant offensive line coach in Chicago. A lot of the coaches were definitely let go, like Tim Kelly. Tim Kelly was let go. Jason Hoteling gone, and he's now the O-line coach in Chicago. Assistant O-line coach in Chicago. Rob Moore is gone. He's going to the Panthers as the wide receiver coach there. I thought Thomas Brown would have a shot at the offensive coordinator job, but he is, of course, taking the passing coordinator job in Chicago. Quite a few people going to Chicago and New York. Former running back and tight ends coach Tony Dews is gone to the Jets. Pat O'Hara, the passing game analyst, is not coming back. Neither is Charles London, passing game coordinator as well. On the defensive side, looks like Shane Bowen definitely ain't coming back. Ryan Crow is gone. Terrell Williams, again, was a pretty big loss. He's going to Detroit to be their defensive line coach and run game coordinator there. So that is a pretty big loss for the Tennessee Titans there. And so there's definitely a lot of changes on this coaching staff. And so right now, a lot of the coaches are gone. I think one coach that has a chance to remain is Justin Alden, who was the running backs coach and run game coordinator. He may have a chance to stick around. So he might be one of the very few, if only, holdovers on this staff. So right now, looks like Callahan, he's going a whole new direction. And that is perfectly fine with me, in my honest opinion. Some other news that has come out, obviously, yes, we did hear about, I did see some things about the Titans getting new uniforms. I'm hoping, I've heard some people hoping that the red could be a possibility. I know we have the white, we have the navy, we have the Oiler blue, which I don't mind that either. Hopefully the red does get a look. Definitely the red, or if they go like with a black, I wouldn't mind that either. I think I would definitely be cool with that. Um, Another thing that's also happening as well is they're going to have a groundbreaking ceremony for the new stadium. So they're going to break ground at the end of this month, February 29th. So we're in, no, we're not in a leap year where it's just 28 days, but February 29th is the date they're going to break ground on new Nissan Stadium. So they're going to break ground and begin construction of the brand new stadium, which will be open in the next 3 years in the year 2027. That is when the Titans will open that brand new stadium. And then, of course, hopefully things will be ready for Nashville to host WrestleMania. I believe that would be WrestleMania 43. That could be in Nashville. Either WrestleMania 43 or WrestleMania 44 is going to be in Nashville. And you better bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be there. I will not be missing WrestleMania live in Nashville. I will pay the big ticket for that one. So I am not missing WrestleMania at the new Nissan Stadium. I guarantee you that. Over Chicken, I think it's going to be just some new alternate uniforms, I believe. As we hear more information, I will definitely let y'all know when it comes to that. But one other thing I wanted to mention before we do call it a show is now that all the coaches have been hired, because it also came out that the last you had Mike McDonald, the Ravens defensive coordinator, going to Seattle, and then the Commanders, of course, Ben Johnson decides to basically throw a curveball and stay in Detroit, and then Bobby Slowick staying in Houston for another year. Basically, the Washington Commanders look like big losers because they waited to the last minute. They basically settled on hiring Dan Quinn as their new head coach, the former defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. Brandon says, I'm going to be in that job. Ringside or suite. WrestleMania is a must. You got that right. You damn Skippy. That is a must. You ain't never lie. That is a must. That is a vacation for me. Like, in 2026, late 2026, I'm already going to put in for that whole week. Whenever I find out when tickets for WrestleMania, for that WrestleMania go, I'm going to be ready to buy tickets when they go on sale. I'm going to save money for that in 2025, 2026. I'm going to be saving money for that because I know it's going to cost a grip, and that is just fine. This is once in a lifetime. So I'm definitely down for that. So one other thing I want to talk about before we get out of here is now that the coaching cycle is complete, a couple of names of two coaches that did not get head coaching jobs. One, of course, is Bill Belichick. The so-called greatest coach of all time did not get a job. And obviously, it looked like he was rumored to be the favorite to get the job in Atlanta, but we all know Bill Belichick wants to have complete control. He wants to be coach and general manager, and some other teams were probably not feeling that. And so I think that's why Bill Belichick didn't get the job. Also, there's Mike Vrabel. And this is where I have to kind of, no offense, go after media. Because whether it's local or national media, because a lot of local and national media all kept saying, well, so a lot of them were like, it's a big mistake firing Vrabel like this was not a good decision. It was an impulse decision by Miss Amy. It was weird. It was stupid. A lot of the national media were like, Mike Vrabel is such a great coach, and they'll be lucky to have him. And as soon as we fired him, everybody thought we were stupid for doing it, and that Mike Vrabel, if you fire Mike Vrabel, he'll have a job in 5 minutes. As soon as you fire him in 5 minutes, he'll have a new job, or he'll have a job tomorrow. And what happened? Ain't nobody want Mike Vrabel's sorry ass. The writing's on the wall. We all see it. They all saw. Yes, started off well the first 3 years, for the first 3 to 4 years. But then we declined the last 2. And then coming out, basically was coming out that he basically wanted full control. That he wanted full control probably did not sit right with some other teams. And so that's why, that's probably one reason why he did not get any job offers. Parvati said, True going to be buying the red carpet VIP experience if that's the only thing available. Right. Front and center. Brandon says, Eric Bieniemy didn't get hired again. I mean, I don't know what it is that why Eric Bieniemy is not getting looked at. It's not good. And I would think that Eric Bieniemy should get looked at least for offensive coordinator, but we'll definitely see. We got Tighten Upload in the house. What's up, my friend? Definitely got to catch up with you. Definitely with the combine and stuff coming up. We definitely got to chat. That Belichick should have the Thursday Night Football while waiting for the next year. And I think that, it would not be surprising if Vrabel does some TV or something like that, but he ain't exactly the most personable person, so he may not be good for television. Parker did say, I wish Vrabel went to Carolina. That would have been the funniest thing. Man, you ain't lying one bit. That would have been a sideshow. A fun one, too. Definitely. AZ Mick giving a laugh. Power Hour, my guy Bishop, what's up, man? Got to catch up with you as well. He said, best thing Vrabel could do is reevaluate things. He'll get a job down the road, but he's going to have to evolve if he wants back in the dance. But that's the problem with Vrabel. Vrabel did not know how to get out of his own way. That's why he doesn't have a job right now. Because Vrabel was too stubborn, stuck in his ways, thinks he knows everything. I told y'all 3 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, that Vrabel's arrogance was going to destroy this team. And it did. And that bringing Todd Downing and Shane Bowen were 2 dumb moves. And I proved to be right. Because I think, Vrabel did interview with the Chargers, with the Falcons, and with the Panthers. Yup, I'm willing to bet that too. Want full control. Tell me, like, get the heck out of here. Probably. Jackson said, hope he can help Treylon Burks. Brian Callahan could save Treylon Burks' career, and I really do hope so. But enough about Vrabel. Again, TNT tonight. Definitely, again, the breaking news from yesterday. Denard Wilson from the Ravens, DB's coach, is now the new defensive coordinator, as well as Tyke Tolbert, former Bears wide receiver coach, is now the new wide receivers coach here in Tennessee. Everybody, make sure you give a like and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ring that bell. And so definitely help me out with that. But you have that. And then, of course, again, there will be a groundbreaking at the end of the month for new Nissan Stadium. So they will break ground February 29th on the new stadium. Last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here, because I didn't get to do my shut your pie hole, and it is the first of the month, but it is coming. January just ended. It's been a bad year for Tennessee sports. The Predators not looking so great. The Titans had a rough year. The Memphis Grizzlies have been just getting decimated by injury. It's so bad that the NBA had to grant a special exemption for the Grizzlies to be able to sign some extra guys to 10-day contracts because we've got injuries everywhere. Our guy Desmond Bane is out. Ja is out for the rest of the season. We don't know when or if Brandon Clark's going to come back. Steven Adams is, of course, out for the year, and probably he's done as a Grizzly as well, mainly because of injury. But that's not the shut your pie hole we're talking about, because I see the Grizzlies are playing hard. They are playing their tails off still, even with the limited amount of players that they have. But the main shut your pie hole goes to my Memphis Tigers, mainly Penny Hardaway. Penny, you stink right now. You and the team stink. Y'all done lost 4 in a row to teams you have no business losing to. You lost to South Florida, then you lose to Tulane, you lose to UAB on the road, and then you come back home and you throwbacks and you lose to Rice. You done lost to 4 unranked opponents that you had no business losing to. And that basically takes away a lot of the momentum of the victories you had with Missouri, the victory you had against Virginia, the victory over Vanderbilt, when you beat Michigan and Arkansas. That takes all that momentum away. You were up to almost 10th in the country. And since then, it's like the Tigers were kind of feeling themselves. And I mean, I was probably guilty too. We were feeling ourselves. We got ahead of ourselves. We thought we was it. We thought, oh yeah, man, we gonna get a high seed in the tournament. Man, we might have a shot at the national championship. Now we may not. Now we may struggle to get in the tournament altogether unless we win the AAC. So I am very pissed off at the Memphis Tiger basketball team, particularly Penny Hardaway, because he promised us a national championship and he has yet to deliver. So I'm sorry. I expect more from Penny. Being a Memphis legend, you coming back home, I want my national championship. Where is it? So Penny better get his crap. Penny and that team better get their crap together. And they better beat Florida Atlantic. Might as well, they better sweep them. They better at least get one. And they better win on Saturday against Wichita State. So Penny, get your crap together. Jacqueline says Grizzlies are trading Steven Adams to the Rockets. I have not heard that. Let me just take a look. I mean, I don't know how the Grizzlies can do that with I'm not sure how the Grizzlies could do that with oh, dad. Yeah, I'm going to take a look because I'm like, Steven Adams out for the season. So I'm like, how you trade an injured player? But wow, that's very interesting. Traded Steven Adams. Oh, wow, the Grizzlies got a good deal out of this. Steven Adams goes to the Houston Rockets for Victor Oladipo and 3 second-round picks. How the heck did they trade an injured guy? Victor Oladipo will definitely help. That is very interesting. I did not see that. Jackie, thank you for the letting me know. But that is very, very interesting. Victor Oladipo, he could be a good player. I don't know how. I mean, that is very interesting. But I mean, the Grizzlies, they're trying to salvage the season, which I agree. But Aquaman is gone. But I thought he would probably be gone after this year anyway, because he's been hurt the last 2 years. And everything. So it is time. It is time for that. And also, I forgot to mention, and this isn't a shut your pie hole. This is more of a congratulations. Marc Gasol, Big Spain, announced his retirement, and I believe April 6th they are going to retire his jersey. So obviously, Tony Allen's number 9 is up in the rafters, along with Z-Bo's 50, even though Tony Allen had his issues legally, but he's up in the rafters along with Z-Bo, and now Marc Gasol, his jersey is going to be up in the rafters as well. So nobody on the Grizzly team will be able to wear either number 9, the number 50, or the number 33 going forward, because of Marc Gasol's retirement. So I'm definitely glad the Grizzlies are doing that for Marc Gasol, letting him retire a Grizzly. So shout out to Big Spain. But everybody, I think that's going to just about do it for the show. I thank everybody for tuning in to TNT Tonight. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Force. I see our resident hater came in kind of late, but I thank y'all for tuning in. I hope everybody has a very good rest of your Thursday. Again, make sure y'all share everything out. And next week we will talk Senior Bowl and what I thought about that, and some players that I was very impressed with. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a very good rest of your evening, and tighten up, because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.